Right. Drummer. Logic's drummer. It's smart drummer. It's whatever you want to call it. I like it. It tends to play a little too musically for me. Most people, I think, want a drummer in the room that sounds like a drummer, but the stuff that I write tends to just want four on the floor with some triplet stuff on top. So I'll just play you the default patch that's loaded when you fire up the drummer. Nothing wrong with that, but I just want four on the floor. And if you go through all the presets, you'll find that none of them really have four on the floor. You can program it yourself, but there is a way around it. So let's just start with that. Okay, so if I go into my library and I move it to electronic and I choose Magnus Big Room EDM, now I'm going to get the sound I want, but not the instrument I want. So nothing wrong with that as a basic four on the floor. I can make it a bit more complex if I want. Simplify it and get it louder. And also variation. Okay, cool. So let's just leave it more or less where it was. So I'm happy with four on the floor, but I don't want a drum machine. Now over here in my inspector, I'll see I've got a drum machine designer loaded. So if I select this track and I go back to my instruments and I go to real drum kits, let's choose Brooklyn, not Brooklyn, which one is it? Roots. Roots, I think, is the one I like. I don't know if there's a Roots kit. Yes, there is, Roots kit. This is kind of a really dusty, messy drum kit, the kind of kit I like these little graphics as well. Like, I don't know if it has shallow toms and a skinny little snare, but it sounds like it. Cool, so now I've just loaded that drum kit onto the same drummer, which is now an acoustic drum kit. So I can go and try any of these acoustic drum kits. Let's just go up Portland, let's see what that sounds like. Even go back to the rock ones. Oh, what's this four on the floor? I don't know what that is. Maybe I actually created my own kit at some point. I can't remember if that's built in. All right, cool. So there you go. So that's one way of just getting a four on the floor drum kit. Now what you want to do for variety is a drummer pretty much, it follows where you are splitting the drum file. Okay, so let's say I just want to have 2 bars of, let's call it verse. Let's add verse. I'm just going to hide some of this stuff. Okay. Well, 4 bars of intro. Okay, cool. At least 2 bars of intro. Now let's say I want to go into verse 1. I'm just labeling this. You don't have to label it. Okay, let's do 2 bars of verse. This tool is actually brilliant, the arrangement tool, but I'll explain that in a different tutorial. So what I do is I come down to my drums and I hold Command, and that turns it into a crosshair, which lets me split. Okay, could double click. Okay, now I've got 2 regions. So now drummer will let me assign different rhythmic qualities to each region. And you see over here, let me just undo quickly. See how it continues through with a kick, right? It just goes kick, 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 kick. But when I split it, see, it looks like it's putting a cymbal or something in there. So it actually intelligently knows that you're talking about this as a different portion of the music. So I'm going to split here again, and I'm going to call this chorus. And then I'm going to split one more time and call it outro. Okay. And these are just text. They don't have any magical value until later on. So what I do now is I'm going to hide this arrangement panel. Now go back into my drum editor. I'm going to make the intro complex and quiet. Okay, then I'm going to make my verse loud and simple. I'm going to make my chorus ring-donkulous, and I'm going to add a bunch of fills. And I'm going to swing it. What the heck, let's just be absolutely daft. Okay, and then my outro I'm going to make chilled again. Gentle little hand claps and what have you. So that's what you're meant to do. And then, okay, so that's almost stating the obvious, but maybe some of you guys didn't know that. I know this is helpful for Jakes. Then what happens is if I use my I-beam and I actually move the offset, so I want a preemptive drum fill before then. So let's say the music goes to a backbeat here. Ba-da-ba-bow. They drag this back. And now it's gone and generated a pre-fill. See, and if I want to make it late, if I want to make it post beat, didn't do much there, but you see, watch here, as I'm moving this I-beam along, it's rewriting the end of the region. So you want to put these cuts in places where musically there are cuts and stabs in your guitar work, and then drummer actually does a really good job. But if you just stick with one region, which most people do, they'll take one region like this, and then they'll expect this to sound musical. It's never going to sound musical. Even if you're moving your little jobby around with automation, you really want to split it up. So just hold command and split it up into portions. And wherever you split, it's going to infer that something musical is happening there. And then you can go and do creative things by moving this little pin around. And then use your I-beam to move accents if it's not accenting where you want it to do. So anyway, that's a whole bunch more that I intended to show you. What I really wanted to show you, that is, by default, Magnus will load EDM drums with a drum machine, which is not at all what I want. So you just select the strip, you go into your instruments, go to the standard drum kits, choose any drum kit you like. Let's go to retro rock, and now it'll do the 4 on the floor kit, but with an acoustic drum kit. Cool, that's that. Okay, bye.